Hi, good afternoon. Well, it's afternoon when I'm recording this, so maybe it's good morning or good evening whenever you're watching this video. So hi, I hope you're having a good week, right? Well, today's book, it's kind of related to a book that we read, weeks and weeks ago. You may remember Jabari Jumps, like the little boy who was scared to go jump off the high dive, right, into the swimming pool, right? Well, this is kind of like that, and it's kind of not. It's about a very famous egg. Egg? Yeah, you know this egg. He's called Humpty Dumpty. Remember the nursery rhyme? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. And all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Well, today's author said, wait a minute. What if the king's men put Humpty back together again? Then what happens? And you're going to laugh because it's a great story. It's really funny. And it also has a really good lesson for all of us. So let's read, okay? After the fall, how Humpty Dumpty got back up again. A story by Dan Santat. Santat is actually shortened for the original Thai name, Satat Evenchoy. Dan lives in Southern California with his wife, Leah, his sons, Alec and Kyle, a bird, 3 dogs, and 2 cats. My name is Humpty Dumpty. This was my favorite spot, high up on the wall. I know it's an odd place for an egg to be, but I loved being close to the birds. Then one day I fell. I'm sort of famous for that. Folks called it the Great Fall, which sounds a little grand. It was just an accident, but it changed my life. Fortunately, all the king's men managed to put me back together. Well, most of me. There were some parts that couldn't be healed with bandages and glue. After that day, I became afraid of heights. I was so scared that it kept me from enjoying some of my favorite things. I walked past the wall every day, and I would think about climbing that ladder again. I really missed the birds and being high above the city, but I could never do it because I knew that accidents can happen. I eventually settled for watching the birds from the ground. It wasn't the same, but it was better than nothing. Then one day, an idea flew by. Making planes was harder than I thought. It was easy to get cuts and scratches, but day after day, I kept trying and trying until I got it just right. My plane was perfect, and it flew like nothing could stop it. I hadn't felt that happy in a long time. It wasn't the same as being up in the sky with the birds. But it was close enough. Unfortunately, accidents happen. They always do. I almost walked away again. But then I thought about all the time I'd spent working on my plane and all the other things I'd missed. I decided I was going to climb that wall. But the higher I got, the more nervous I felt. I didn't want to admit it. I was terrified. I didn't look up. I didn't look down. I just kept climbing. One step at a time. Until I was no longer afraid. Yay! Maybe now you won't think of me as that egg who was famous for falling. Hopefully, you'll remember me as the egg who got back up and learned how to fly. The end. Oh, I felt so sorry for Humpty Dumpty after he was patched together again. Oh, he couldn't do so many things, that he had loved. Remember, he couldn't climb up to his bunk bed. He was sleeping on the floor. He couldn't reach for his favorite cereal at the store because you'd have to climb up a little ladder. And worst of all, he couldn't be near the birds on top of the wall that he loved so much. But then, when his paper airplane flew away, paper airplane bird, landed up on top of the wall, he said, well, enough is enough. And he decided, okay, he was going to climb that ladder and get that paper bird airplane back, right? And so that's what he did. Even though it made him nervous. And that took courage, didn't it? Yeah. And something called perseverance. Well, that's a big word, isn't it? And you can probably guess what it means. It means keep on trying. Humpty Dumpty persevered. He just took one step at a time up that ladder until he got to the top, even though he didn't know what was going to happen. That's kind of like our lives, isn't it? None of our lives are always easy, right? Sometimes we go through some really tough times and we can't see how or why they're going to end or when things are going to get better. Like Humpty, we just have to persevere. We have to keep on trying. In the Bible, perseverance is often paired with the word faith. And that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? We trust in God. We have faith in God, that God is always with us, even when things aren't great, right? And at the end of the story, Humpty hatched into a bird. I didn't expect that, did you? But if you think about it, that kind of also makes sense, doesn't it? As we go through life, we grow and change. Well, not just that we get taller or our bodies change or we get older, but hopefully we turn more and more into the person that God sees that we could be. Someone who loves God, someone who loves Him, and who loves other people the way that He loves us, right? Ooh, next week, it's going to be the first Sunday in Advent. Yay, Christmas is coming. So what book am I going to read next week? I think I'm going to read a book about a very special Christmas tree. Tune in next week and let's read. Okay? Bye-bye.